welcome to Dice Friends. This is episode 2 of 2 of Winter Peasantries. We're going to be using the fate system, and we have 5 peasants being the heroes today. So we have Ian, who is going to be playing Bryce the Baker. And we have Kathleen, who's playing Steena the Scribe. We have Soter, we have Cam playing Soter the Seamster. And we have Shilgan the Shepherd, and we have Blaze the Barkeep. Surgeon Ben,
That's all right. Today I am Blaze.
Yeah.
Today you are Blaze.
Did you intentionally alliterate all of our names?
Yes, it made it easier for planning.
Good.
Oh, that makes way more sense, yeah.
Except then I ended up with like
Three.
3 S's and 2 B's. So you might have noticed your last names alliterate with your player first names, because I needed help. I get confused. So.
Oh. That makes sense.
Ding.
So, we are in a nice, happy place,
Yes.
and everything is fine. Because you have found what you were looking for.
Yeah.
You were sent into the Elkwood to look around, and it was intimated that you might be looking for some missing people, possibly some missing relatives, and you followed a trail where all of the winter festival trees had been chopped down. People like to have them. The solstice is coming. It's not very far away. They want to decorate them. The kids want to have stuff underneath them. And so people have been trying to chop them down, but they've all been wrecked. So people have been going further and further in this brand new trail that came out of nowhere in the Elkwood. And when you got there, you found that the Igar insects, which were destroyed over 700 years ago, had somehow come back. You also found Dharam, who is a member of an underground race, was threatening one of you with an axe.
Yes, threatening.
Yes. Right.
Threatening to
Threatening
bisect.
threatening in the way of they almost killed Cameron.
Perfect. Okay.
And the humans you were looking for were all there, and they each had an Igar attached to their neck and resting on a shoulder, and they seemed somehow mind-controlled, just kind of stumbling around, not very thoughtful.
Thank you. It was cold on the floor.
So, the Dharam looks like he is going to continue his efforts to bifurcate Soter.
Murder the
I think
Cameron.
I'm currently lodged in a bramble.
And we also have a corpse of one of the Igar bugs in the middle of the clearing on fire.
Right.
Most of you don't know what happened with that.
Why
It
it's
kind
on
of came flying out. So I'm also going to review one game mechanic for Fate, which is called the Compel. We did this a little bit last time, but I'm just going to go over it anyway. This is where I can take a Fate point, and I can push it toward a player, and I can say, Steena, I think the little voice in your head says, let me handle this. And you can either say, okay, I activate my stunt to let the voice take over, or you can push my fate point back and add one of your fate points to it and explain how you're resisting that by invoking one of your aspects or something similar. And if you do that, it's up to me whether I go to plan B or whether I escalate by adding a second fate point.
Oh, I mean, I think Steena, having seen Soter be attacked by a Dharam and a bunch of zombies come towards her, is like normally the evil voice in her head that you picked up from reading a book that said forbidden, evil's inside, but like, you know, sometimes that just means there's some good licentious stuff in there and somebody's just put a warning on it so people don't realize, or it's like a juicy diary and it says like Necrodemodomicon, but it's just like, oh my god, Lady Thurple or whatever like that. It's just like the juiciest stuff. But sometimes the books are actually evil, and unfortunately, I picked up this.
You read all of them.
Yeah, I read all just in case. You don't need to know. And one of them actually was evil and gave me an evil voice that lives inside my head.
So forbidden is more of a suggestion.
I mean, forbidden is a strong word. Also, who's going to catch me? That's me in the library alone for the most part, right? People come in and they're like, what are you reading? A book. Okay, that's your job. Keep at it, right?
Are you doing that reading thing?
Yes, that's what you pay me to do.
Right.
Carry on.
Seems hard. Keep it up.
Yep. So I'm going to be like, ah, hell. I've listened to you in worse time, or in less threatening times. What's up, evil dude?
So the voice takes over your voice and begins speaking to the dharam in dharam.
What's up?
So
What is she saying?
So you speak back and forth in dharam, which you, Steena, don't understand.
Oh.
How exciting.
Yes. And then after a bit of an exchange, the dharam says, I accept your terms.
In English?
Yes. And the Igar back off, and the zombies kind of part, and the dharam says, so the 5 of you, this way. Because there was a clearing, there was the path you came on, and then there was sort of another path at about 2 o'clock if you came in at 6 o'clock.
Oh, how useful. Once again, the little evil voice has saved me from certain death.
What did you say?
Did you say that out loud? Like the...
No, maybe that was my...
That was an inner monologue?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have concerns.
No, it's fine. I picked it up from reading. You learn so many exciting things when you read books.
Right. But what did he
It's a
say?
rainbow of information in books.
I must learn how to read someday.
After his bad fall, Soter suddenly remembers how to breathe again.
Here you go, buddy. In and out.
You ever have one of those falls?
Oh, yeah, that just
We're
knocks
just
it
like-
right out of you.
Yeah.
How do I do this again? No, that's an arm. That's a leg. There we go.
That's the lungs.
Hey, could you just go over the terms of that deal one more time?
I accept the terms that you offered.
Oh, good. Just checking. Let's see.
So let's do it now.
Yeah.
Down the trail, please.
Okay. This way. Ow.
Can I like lift up
Ow.
like Soder and kind of help you walk?
So you had some physical stress.
Yes.
And I believe you had a minor consequence.
We agreed to call it Bramblebutt.
Right. So,
Just spat on your character sheet.
It'll say that on my character sheet now.
so you've got all these brambles in your butt.
Ow.
If you get someone to help you with it, then however that form of removing brambles from your butt is going to take, then very soon after the next scene, the consequence will go away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually. Hey, Soder.
Yes.
there-
Yes, Shulgin.
There are times where the sheep get a little friendly with porcupines. I have some experience removing quills.
How friendly with Porky. Ow. How friendly.
I don't know. They just come back all stabbed up. What the animals do in their private time is,
That's very enlightened of you. Thank you.
May I touch you?
Sure, please. Yes.
Okay.
So you have
Ow.
some sort of shepherd medical skill you're using here.
Yes. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to do first aid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a mediocre, buddy.
How does it look?
It looks very mediocre.
So, do you have any sort of aspect you could invoke to help him while he's
Here, I
kicking
might.
your butt?
I will invoke an aspect as well. Actually,
okay.
As a junior shepherd, it turns out I've removed quills from harder places than a human's butt. So I will try this again. There's no wool in the way. I've got it up to a fair chance of removing the brambles from the butt.
Well, a fair attempt at butt picking is all you need.
Excellent.
So we can now rename your minor consequence from bramble butt to
Tender butt.
Supple.
Tenderized?
yeah. You're not all better yet.
Yes.
Holy buttocks.
Sore
Yeah.
booty.
Yeah. Perforated.
Aerated.
Aerated.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
aerated booty.
Okay, so that minor consequence will persist until the end of the next scene, and you are also going for a long walk, where you're being taken to your unknown destination.
I still have the cart of supplies
Okay.
because nobody's told me to put it down. So I'm just going to keep pulling this thing through the snow.
All right. You're going to be cold and you're going to be tired. I'm giving you those as temporary aspects. You don't
Okay.
need to write them down.
Okay.
I'll keep notes. And they might get invoked, or if there's some reason why you think hey, I'm tired, that's to my advantage, you can invoke them too, because you have these temporary
Sure.
tired and cold aspects. You're going to be going down this path with the Igar, with the zombies, with the dharam for about an hour.
Okay.
Now, I'm perfectly content for you to just do that for an hour. So if nobody wants to do anything, it's an hour later, and your physical stress will be gone.
Out of curiosity,
Yes.
do we recognize the zombies? Are they the missing townsfolk?
Oh, yes. You know all these
Okay.
people. Oh, sorry. I thought I had specified that. We
Yeah.
had named
Okay.
several of
Boy.
them last session.
Oh, we have.
Your
Okay.
brother Gar is there, and your cousin Sama is there, and Finnabar, the general store employee, is there.
Okay.
Do we see Zem in the group of friends?
You do not see them in the
Okay.
group of friends.
Interesting. While we're walking, since things have gone well, do I have? Can I talk to my voice?
Sure.
So I guess I got to give you one of these.
Do you need to? Is it a stunt? Do you have to pay to talk? I don't
I
remember
don't
how it
think
works. I
I don't think I maybe.
think you can talk for free.
Okay, I'm gonna talk for free then. I'm gonna be like,
Sure.
Hey, Erasmus, which is the nickname I have given the voice. It calls itself the nameless undead
Oh.
from beyond the seven hills. But I thought that was very long.
Seems friendly.
It's a little wordy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something you can just so, hey, So, hey, Erasmus.
Yes.
I noticed that there's a lot of people here with bugs on them who are not really acting. Could I just unhook one of these and then maybe they'll not be mind controlled? Take out the pinchers. Is there a procedure here?
Your first statement was 100% accurate. You could remove it, and they will maybe not be mind controlled.
Okay, interesting. Could you, before I start, getting my fingers in there, is the bug then going to try to attack me?
Only if you don't do it the right way.
Oh, okay, interesting. And I'm sorry, what is the name of the dwarfs again? The dwarven race?
The dharam.
Yeah. And if I try to say get Shilgan's brother Gar back, because Shilgan is very nice, and I bet Gar is also very nice and probably helpful and strong. If I try to release Gar, is the dharam going to notice and get mad at us? Is there anything in the terms and conditions that you set out and didn't tell me about that might might make me think this is a bad idea?
So, the dharam thinks that you're going to cooperate, and that's as specific as it's been for your involvement here on out.
Okay. Interesting.
Would you like me to tell you the proper way to disconnect him from the Igar?
I would love to know the proper way disconnect him from the Igar Erasmus.
So, do you remember what you said when I wanted you 2 months ago to create that stone altar and do blood sacrifices on it every day?
Yeah, I did. I said I will get back to you on that because I've got a busy September.
Yes, that is exactly what you said, except it was much more profane.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not saying that you're not a helpful evil voice from beyond the 7 layers of hell, Erasmus, but like the blood sacrifice is a big commitment forward in our relationship. Like that's, that's basically saying we're going steady. And I'm not. I became a scribe because I wanted a life of solitude. Is this kind of thing where like you'll tell me how to disconnect it if I promise to do the blood sacrifice thing?
I was kind of hoping you would take the first step and do the blood sacrifice first. Because you've made your feelings about the blood sacrifice very clear.
I always knew my phobia of commitment would get me in trouble one day. But you know what? Okay, fine. How about this? If, Erasmus, once we've finished helping out this dharam, I'm going to talk to Shilgan. I'm going to get one of his sheep. Is sheep blood okay?
It's very tasty.
Okay, perfect. And does it have to be like a full stone altar, or will you be happy with like some slate cobblestones that I pick up from like the home improvement shed?
If you are willing to get some very precise sigils drawn on them, that would do fine.
I have great penmanship.
Excellent.
Quillmanship. I have excellent quillmanship. Yes, I will sacrifice you. I'll find a sheep and I'll sacrifice it to you. And then you can show me how to relieve these people. But if for some reason the dharam tells me that the blood he just tells me how to release these people, and I don't need to do the blood sacrifice, I'm only gonna give you like a lizard, or maybe a sparrow.
So,
because I feel like you have helped me, so I don't want to like, completely cut you out of here. But like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes you don't have my best interests at heart, Erasmus.
well, I think that you have an improper definition of best. So, I will tell you how to disconnect the Igar,
Excellent.
and you will create the altar,
Fine.
and you will sacrifice at least a sparrow,
Okay, I can do that.
and if everything works, I also get a sheep.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, we'll go back and we'll do a sheep later. If I free Gar, I'm sure Shilgan will give me a sheep out of gratitude. Can it be a crappy sheep though? Because Shilgan seems very attached to them. Will you accept like an old sheep that's maybe had a hard life and fallen down a hill or something?
I feel like that's a good start.
Okay.
But if you give me 10 good sheep,
10?
then I'll give you some extra magic today.
I'm gonna have to talk to Shilgan about that.
All right, let me know.
Okay.
I really want to have a sixth sense that does nothing good in combat, but I know my flock is in danger, and just like, I'm nowhere near my flock. How is the danger sense happening?
Hey, Shilgan, do you have any like crappy sheep that you hate?
Oh no, it was an omen. Why? I love all my sheep equally. Why do you ask?
I mean, surely there's one that's a real bastard though, that like bites you, or like tries to like ram you with its horns. With it, like.
We ram constantly. It's how we strengthen ourselves. There's a
Right.
ritual daily where we go head to head, myself and the sheep, to strengthen our heads.
That explains a lot.
Okay, so but like, is there? Oh, so if it's like a sheep dominance thing, is there any sheep that you really want to get out of the way so you can assert your will over the flock?
We'd have to ask the king to give up any of the sheep.
Okay. Okay. I may have made a deal. I'm working on getting Gar free from the mind control bug,
Ooh.
but I might
My
need a
brother.
sheep.
I'll have to talk to the flock.
Okay. Seriously, if there's a sheep that just you don't like, let me know. I'll take care of that for you.
And we can work out a stunt so that you can have that sixth sense about the danger to your flock.
Sure.
While this is going on,
Yes. It's an hour-long walk.
No,
I don't know
yeah.
how much we want
Yeah.
to play it, but
can I attempt to strike up a conversation with the dharam?
yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Hey, man. First off, I'm Blaze Berwick. You know, I'm a bartender back in town. What's your name?
I will not give you my name.
Well, I will not give you my name. It is a pleasure. Is that must be dharam, right? I'm gonna call you Steve. Does that work? Steve?
I will not decapitate you for that.
Sweet, Steve it is. So Steve, unfortunately, I'm really sorry. I don't speak dharam, and you obviously had some sort of conversation going on with Steena. Do you mind filling me in on what we suddenly got roped into by any chance?
Yes.
As in, like, you'll tell me yes, or
That was not your question.
would you not mind not telling us if we're going to be put into mortal peril?
Are you just going to keep talking to me until I answer that question?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I am going to put you into mortal peril.
Okay, well, that's a good start. I feel like we're forming a bit of a rapport here.
The dharam and the humans used to have much more of a rapport
Yeah.
until you stole away our contact with our gods.
Hold on, time out. You're saying you like it was me. And I ain't got no beef with the dharam. In fact, when I saw you, aside from the point in which you tried to, kill my friend, I was really stoked to see that the dharam weren't all gone. That's awesome. Good for you guys.
I'm saying you
Yeah.
because your stupid human language doesn't distinguish between second person singular and second person plural.
English is a pretty weird language. I will agree.
Actually,
Excellent.
we tend to use the word thou. I'm sorry.
So
I'll
anyway,
stop talking right now.
So mortal peril, that sounds
I'm in a lot of pain right
that
now.
sounds bad. I just sort of like hook.
You know, Sodor, I've been noticing that spoken English and written English have been diverging quite a bit recently.
That sounds like a great conversation. You should not have that around to this guy.
Sweating.
So mortal peril, that seems bad. I mean, for us, maybe it's good for you, right? I assume you're doing this because it comes from a place of hurt.
What an interesting assumption.
Because it sounds like you've got some pent up stuff, and I'm fairly good at listening and hearing out problems and stuff like that. I'm sure if you and I chatted about it a little bit, we could probably hash this thing out. And hey, if at the end of it you still want to inflict mortal, bad times to us, you can absolutely do that. But first, I won't go down without a good chat. That's what my dad always used to say.
So why don't we start with your initial rapport check?
Sure.
Nice.
Great.
Fun. So I have.
I will actually, if possible, would I be able to invoke my good listener stunt?
Yes.
To add an extra, it's a +2 to it. Is that how it works?
That's how that. So wait, is that your stunt?
I have a good listener.
You
stunt.
should. I think the good listener just lets you use your rapport skill to do something different, doesn't it?
Oh yes, to use rapport instead of lore.
So you should be invoking an aspect.
Okay. Beloved, my high.
Nice.
So I make good beer and I serve it with a smile. People like me and end up telling me lots of things.
Yes, that is absolutely what you're doing here.
Perfect.
So that gives you a +2.
Okay, which means that moves up to a fantastic.
Lovely. All right. So you were at a fantastic from a great, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to invoke one of my aspects,
Okay.
which is hates everybody
Okay.
to put that back to great.
Okay.
Then I'm going to invoke another one of my aspects, which is has sworn to destroy Rashim.
Okay.
And that's going to bump it down another 2 from great to, I believe that puts us at fair.
It
Did anyone
does.
have
Yes.
the ladder
Yeah.
nearby?
Fair.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at fair because I am going to give you a little bit of exposition.
Okay. Perfect.
Do you want to use another aspect to try and bump it up higher? Sorry to jump in.
No, that's how the game works.
You know what? Yeah. Oh wait, is that my? I don't think trouble really works here, does it? Like,
If you can make it work, go for it.
Actually, hey, Steena hears Shilgan saying all this, and it's like, oh, hey, I have a
Blaze?
stunt.
Blaze.
Blaze, sorry. I have a stunt. Festive greetings. Your long experience composing Lord Bagheer's correspondence has made you an expert in festive greetings. Once per session, when you invoke your haunted scribe aspect to give someone else a boost, you may do so in a festive manner appropriate to the holiday and grant them a +4 bonus instead of +2. I'm going to say, at some point, I have read some sort of book on dharam seasonal celebrations, and I'm just like, hey, Blaze, tell him you wish him a Merry Festivus. That's the dharam celebration at this type of year.
Ah.
And it's like a thing where they all get together and have a nice time, and you're supposed to help out people.
And is it making friends the Festivus way? Wink.
So that's +4?
That's you wrote it on the slip.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember everything I put in
So
your
I'm back
characters.
up to fantastic, is what we're
Well, no,
saying.
because you would have been, instead of fantastic, you would have been, where's
No,
the...
I
So
meant fair. If you
he's at
give,
fair,
Okay.
yeah.
and then
So I'm back
4
up to
bumps
fantastic.
up the ladder. Gets
You'd
you
have
up
to use another
fantastic.
fate point then.
Sheep.
No, she
She
does.
just did.
I did.
If I'm at 2 and she adds 4,
But
But she has to boost your thing.
Right,
Yeah.
and so she had to spend a fate point to do that boost.
Yeah.
Okay. If the math checks out on your side.
Well,
then,
here's
yeah.
the thing: it's a festive banner appropriate to the holiday. Grant them a +4 bonus instead of a +2. So
Yes.
it's not you're not gaining 4 points. You're gaining 2 points.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because like I would have because when he invoked his fate, it would have been 2, and we added 2. But I'm like, hey, actually say this, so it's adding 4.
So giving someone a boost,
Okay.
normally,
Yes.
the normal way you give a boost is you spend one of your fate points and you invoke one of your aspects, and then you do that to help someone else, and that person gets +2 from whatever you've just
Oh,
invoked.
so this. Oh, okay, so this just.
So you're going to give him +4 at the cost of 1 fate point.
Okay, I've done that.
All right, so which aspect did you invoke?
I invoked haunted scribe.
Right.
Yes.
all right.
All right.
Cool.
Let's not second guess when.
Yeah, maybe
when
your
Dale,
Asmus is
when
like-
Dale says Ben gets
Yeah,
+4,
yeah,
don't
yeah,
go.
yeah.
No, he doesn't.
I wanted to make
Want to know the
sure.
rules?
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure I was doing it right. So your Asmus says, "Psst, mention Festivus," and I'm like, Blaze, tell him to mention that.
And I say, isn't
yeah.
making friends the Festivus way?
So I'm going to invoke my final aspect
Yes.
of closed mouth grump,
Okay.
Ooh.
and that's going to put you back down to great.
Okay.
So in spite of all of this stuff that this character hates,
Yeah.
you are going to get him to talk to you.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Means you're going to learn a
Good
little
work,
bit more
team.
than I thought you were going to at this point, so well done on that.
Yeah. All right. Exposition.
Sorry, Dale.
If everything went the way I planned it, these would be boring streams.
Swag. Shout out to charisma.
Yeah, we would have been
characters.
walking for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, your opening was, it seems like you've got some issues. Why don't you tell me about them? Is that right? I'm just trying to make sure I'm...
Yeah, well, and also maybe what's it was like what were your I think I was leading into like more like what's going on, where's the beef, and like how, like what, I guess, why do you hate us so dang? I guess you already answered why do you hate us so dang much. So it's more like, yeah, what's going on here? Maybe let me in on your plan a little bit.
All right. So, 100 years ago, a bunch of humans did a bunch of stuff against another human. The humans were from Rasham, and the other human called himself the Dark Lord, and he was bad, and there was lots of bad stuff happening, and it was a dark time, but the dwarfs had a plan. And right around now, we would have been implementing that plan, and we would have fixed everything, and we wouldn't have lost contact with our gods. But you humans thought it was worth freeing the world 100 years sooner if you cut us off from all of the afterlife and everything else, which is bad.
Yes, I agree.
Well then, that's where we are.
I see. And this severing thing, it ended up getting the job done? Like, we were saved?
I mean, the humans defeated the Dark Lord.
Right. So we did the thing.
Right, but at enormous cost.
True.
Yes.
Yes. So...
And you were wrong, and I shall destroy you all.
Right. So what I'm hearing here is, and I kind of like tilt, I have a little cap onto the side there. I don't have a cap in that picture, but I'm saying I have a cap now.
Nice.
And I
I
go,
got a cap.
so what I'm hearing is, a bunch of humans saved the day, but...
From another human.
From another human, right? We solved an issue on our own, and yes, it did come at an immense cost to you, and that is horrible. But those people all died a long time ago. So now you're just now you're basically just kind of doing what the Dark Lord was going to do. And, you know, the guy that you were planning on stopping? Aren't you just kind of going around in a circle again?
No.
You don't see the spiral pattern that's going on here?
No.
Tell me about your dad.
Well,
I like you, Steve.
That was great, wasn't it? All right. So, my dad was enslaved by the Dark Lord.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
And things were not good for him, but he did provide information to the Dharam resistance that was key to our development of the plan for overthrowing the Dark Lord.
Right.
But after he succumbed to his wounds that he got them during the big revolution that was sparked by the humans, and he died, and he did not go and join all his ancestors in the afterlife, because the afterlife is no longer available to us because of what you stupid humans from Rasham did.
So your dad didn't get to go to the afterlife after helping the Dark Lord.
And neither will I, and neither will you. And
Hey, man.
I just want to point out that you just called my father, who was captured and enslaved, someone who helped the Dark Lord. So I'm giving myself a free boost for that.
Damn
it!
Yep.
I'm not apologizing for that. I'm bumping your response down to a fair again.
Okay.
And so he's like, and that's why I'm taking you to the hive.
That makes sense. Well, I'm glad that you elaborated a little bit. I like to know what's going on.
Good. Now please leave me alone.
Okay. And I pat Steve on the back and walk away.
He bristles.
Dale,
Yes.
while this conversation is taking
Yes.
place, can I examine the dharam? Like
Sure.
using my simple tailor stuff
Yes.
to see if he's concealing anything that might be useful to us somewhere, or if he's like, I mean, he's got his axe.
Yes.
I assume he's carrying knives or a knife or a sidearm of some kind.
He looks fairly well armed.
Okay.
Yes.
Does he have like a pack with?
He has a belt pouch,
Okay.
and he has some sort of ornate stick shoved in a belt.
Interesting. And he does not have one of the Egar at all.
Correct.
Okay. Interesting. The ornate stick.
Yes. It's inside his trouser leg. Like, no one else
Okay.
can actually see this ornate stick, but you
Okay.
can see that it's twisted.
I give you one of these, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Wait, no, that just let you use your skill in a different way.
Okay, cool.
So you keep that.
All right, so should I roll it then?
You should have rolled it before I told you what you saw.
Came out even. So that is a 3.
So that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Excellent.
It all checks out.
All right, got there.
Yes. All right. So, are we doing anything else on this hour-long walk?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So, some of you have had some conversations. Some of you have poked around. You're looking at me like you are going to do something?
No.
Okay.
I'm waiting to find out what happens next.
Oh,
This
okay.
is rapt attention, Dale.
All right. So, you come to a part of the forest where there has been a lot of clearing done. Clearly, someone has been using their axe for more than just chopping seamsters in half. And there is a mound that has been cleared. It did not have any trees growing on it, and it has been partially dug out. And off to the side, this is, roughly hemispherical. Hemi means half. It's this much of the sphere. Off to one side, you can see where people have been trying to dig down into the frozen ground. And the dharam comes to you and says, "Here we are. This is the ground that is frozen that we need melted. Please complete the deal."
Why would I know anything about that?
I was promised that you could thaw this ground.
Give me a second.
Yes.
I need to confer. What did you tell him?
I mean, the dharam language is extremely difficult to translate to
Yeah.
English.
That's why I'm asking you. It's not something I have much experience in.
Okay, so I might have an evil voice that lives in my head and helps me out from time to time, and it didn't so much tell me what we agreed to do, but I'm sure, like, the evil voice, because it lives in my head, has a very strong interest in keeping my head attached to my shoulders and my brain intact, because I assume that's where it is. So I'm sure we won't die immediately if you just cooperate.
Okay, you seem like a person with a lot of money, and therefore people have money have secrets. You
No.
could probably keep them.
Secrets? Me? I just told you my greatest secret.
Is the voice in your head really evil, or do they just seem kind of nasty a bit?
I mean, evil, such a strong word. I mean, and isn't morality just various shades of gray? It's super evil. But like I said, strong self-preservation instinct in the voice, because it took it a long time to get out of that haunted book that I read. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be fine. It saved my life before. And the only thing it wanted was like a sparrow on an altar. So like it's pretty chill.
Hey, chums, I couldn't help but overhear the little conversation that was going on here. I usually like to look at the positives, but any chance that maybe now that voice is trapped inside you and it just wants to get out? Question mark?
I don't think that's how it works. It has to possess a body. So I guess maybe if we're going to, someplace where they make golems or some sort of like magic, it's probably fine.
All right, I believe you. I trust you. I have no reason not to.
I mean, I don't really know what it wants. Well, I know what it wants. It wants a sparrow on an altar with some good penmanship, and one of Shilgun's sheep, which is why I'm trying to sell him on one of the crappy ones he doesn't like.
My flock?
So, Blaze, I think that this voice sounds amazing to you, and you just want him to be happy and have what he wants.
I think that it would be. So wait, I use a.
So this is a compel.
Yeah.
Because I'm compelling your things are better than you might believe.
Yeah. Yes. You know what, guys? I talked to our buddy Steve, and while he's got some pretty dastardly things happening to us, it does seem like he needs us to do this first before we can do anything, like as part of some sort of deal. And I imagine the evil voice, if it is self-preservating, wouldn't exactly, make us unthaw our tomb. So maybe we do this thing, and we can maybe earn a little bit of a less sentence with Steve. He seems
Yeah.
like a reasonable fella.
Yeah, Erasmus, you realize that if I die, you die with me, right?
If you personally die, then that will inconvenience me.
Yeah, see, there you go. He says it'll be very awful and he'll be super duper sad.
I'm glad. Thank you for relaying that.
He would be heartbroken.
Well,
I mean,
Bryce, do you need a torch or something?
Yeah, I think I can probably make this work, but I'm gonna need some help here getting some firewood. If you guys could each go and grab maybe a cord each, or just just an armful of some good sturdy branches, that would really help out with this.
So there's more snowfall. Remember, there was snow falling last time. There's more snowfall now, and the dharam is just watching you guys to see what you're going to do. He's not really concentrating on the other humans, and they're kind of bumbling around a little. A couple of them started going over towards some big stout branches that they had been using to pound the frozen dirt, but they don't really remember what they're supposed to be doing. Gar kind of walks into a tree.
Classic Gar.
Because it sort of takes whatever intelligence you're starting with and then reduces it a bunch.
Oh,
Dale, I have a question about
Yes.
my abilities. Does the size of the drawing correspond in any way to the effectiveness of it?
It corresponds inversely to the control you have.
Okay, interesting.
well, should we go get some firewood then? Get this thing moving
Please
along?
do. I'm gonna walk around here a bit and see if I can, figure out where the best place to lay this fire would be to get maximum heat into the tomb, or into this mound or whatever it is.
The tomb.
And
I think he called it a hive, which
hive,
is probably fine
it's
with all
probably-
these Egar around.
I mean, there's probably honey inside, right? Yeah, that sounds right. Anyway, I'm gonna walk around, find out where the best place to lay things is, and if you guys can take care of the wood, that would be great.
So survival checks will determine how good you are at getting the wood, and an investigate will talk about you walking around the hive.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
By the way, I'm not actually, I'd like to make it clear to you, I'm not exactly looking for anything, but I am very specifically walking around certain places in a very certain direction and area and, let's say, shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is you're just all right.
Hey, I rolled literally less than terrible. Because
Yes,
I don't have
I'm-
survival as a skill.
I'm also terrible.
All right. Well, you're not going to find any burnable wood.
I rolled great.
Huh.
Mediocre.
Neutral.
Could be worse.
Mediocre.
I feel like mediocre is going to find some little wet branches.
Yeah,
you're kind of like stripping some things off of a loop.
It reminds me of, I was helping a friend do some renovations, and he said, here, I need you to hand me that piece of trim over there, because he was using a piece of like trim for the bottom or top of the thing
Right.
as a way to hammer something without leaving a dent in it. And I'm like, obviously he didn't mean that. I'll hand him the hammer. Or no, the saw. I handed him the saw because that's how you trim something, right? And I'm like, go get me some wood. And I'm like,
This cuts wood.
Does he like never help me again?
he was like,
Go sit
I
down.
see where you're going with that, buddy. It's okay.
You
So
thought
maybe you've got a handful of rocks or something.
Yeah, something related to wood, but not wood
you
itself.
thought too quickly and too deep. Okay. That's going to be a investigate. That's going to be poor. But I am going to actually I'll activate one of my skills, which is deceive,
Okay.
because I'm not actually looking around.
All right. So I think you can just make your deceive roll without having to give me a fate point.
Oh, okay.
You could invoke an aspect if you want to improve your investigate.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise, we're going to say, as you point out,
good.
you're not. You're not looking around. I'm not going to give you any information. But if you like, you can also roll deceive.
Okay, yeah, let's roll the deceive then. Let's
Okay.
call that investigate. Not so good.
All right. Well, then I'm going to give you your fate point back.
Deceive. 4.
Okay.
That is a great.
So you are great at deceiving this dharam, and you are kind of walking around in the snow. Now, the part of the snow he once handled, the part of the frozen ground, is where it's all kind of been bashed with branches. Is that what you're walking around?
I'm walking around that, yes.
Okay. Encircling it, as it were.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe sometimes making an approach just to see and back a bit, maybe here and there.
Is this a point where I should be reviewing your third stunt?
Maybe? Yeah, I
Okay.
think.
I'll just reread that.
Yeah, that
quickly.
makes sense, yes. Actually, I can hand that to you if you like.
Oh, I've got it right here. Thanks. Okay. Well, in that case, you're walking around doing these footprints and whatnot in the snow. I would like a precision drawing roll from you,
That I can do.
just to see how good you are at getting these exactly where they should be with your footsteps.
Oh,
Fantastic.
All right.
Dang.
Well, I'm going to reduce that to a great just because you're working with boots and not your usual pencils and straight edges.
That is fair. I'll also take that based on the fact that I'm trying to do this surreptitiously.
Now, you're good at the deceive. I'm you're
Something-
great at the deceive.
Something has to suffer.
Yes. So that is happening. That's going to take you a while.
Yep.
I think you come back with some rocks. You come back with some firewood. And you two come back. Oh, we found them again. Okay, we're not lost.
Good, good.
I hate being
We helped.
outside.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we can move on.
I don't think we need to if you have something in.
I just wanted to while we're doing this, I wanted to know if I can just study the zombies, right?
Sure.
Are they wasting away? Are they clearly are they not eating or drinking? Are they?
So tell me about your friend you recognize that you're going over and.
I am going to go. I recognize a dyer named
Okay.
Aaron,
Okay. So
who I buy my wool from.
Erin, the dyer, she was in the initial team that went out. They were all sort of on the skinny side, but reasonably clever.
Okay.
And was just like, go look in there and see what's going on.
So if she's been gone for several days,
Yeah.
is she displaying is she going to die of starvation in the next couple of days unless we get these things off of her?
So it looks. So she has been getting some water, but she's looking a little on the dehydrated side.
Okay.
She's not going to die immediately, but she certainly looks worse than the last time you saw her.
Okay. And is she still working hard, with a kind of unnatural or supernatural strength? Or is this nah, this is about what a person of her physique would be able to muster?
She is more the latter, but without taking care of herself. So
Okay.
if she gets a cramp, she doesn't stop. If she's going to be doing a bunch of physical labor, well, she hasn't done any warm-ups first or stretches. Do you have any sort of first aid? Well, good luck
No.
with the roll then.
Yeah. Poor.
I think I've given you all the information I'm
Yeah,
going to give you.
definitely. One other question, if I can ask that.
Sure.
Is the Igar doing anything on her shoulder?
apparently not. I mean, it does have some sort of proboscis stuck into her neck.
Right. I imagine these things looking kind of like big mosquitoes. Or
Yeah, I was thinking giant dragonflies, which is not so
Okay.
different. A giant dragonfly with a proboscis would look like a giant mosquito. So
Okay.
I think we're on the same page.
okay. I'm wondering if do you mash the bug or do you try to pull it off?
I am also wondering whether you're going to mash the bug or try to pull it off.
Which one of these is guaranteed to kill the person? We'll need more information first.
So, you've seen people. Well, you got poor on your first aid.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is like into the realm of bad information.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. So you know that the rule of thumb is that if someone has been impaled on something, you leave it in there until a doctor can look at them.
Right. Right. You don't pull it out because then they just bleed out. And presumably, if these things have, like, if they've been proboscopized into their brain and you pull out the proboscis, then all their thoughts come out by the same logic.
It tracks.
Yeah. Or, wait, these things are sapping into their brain, not their liver. What's our understanding of medicine?
Well, yours is poor.
Yes. Our kidneys is where we do all of our thinking.
What liquid comes out when you pull out the
Yeah,
thing?
it's gonna, all of their phlogiston is gonna fall out.
The yellow bile, oh no.
Okay. Also, have any of them suffered any kind of injury?
Sure, several of them have.
Okay.
I would just think that inevitable.
Yeah, inevitably. Yeah.
Also, they all look cold, but none of them are shivering.
That's disconcerting.
Maybe that means there's still blood flow.
When we
Yeah.
look at the not hive mound thing, are there hive-like activities of lots of bugs flying in and out of it, or are all of the bugs that we see attached to people and or escorting us?
So the bugs that were escorting you that weren't attached to people flew off to a part of the hive that you can't see from
Okay.
where you walk into this clearing. And some are flying around. They're all the same kind of bug that you first saw. Was that your question? I'm not sure I understood.
Are we looking like, are there so many bugs they're blotting out the
No,
sky?
no,
Is it like there's like a giant hive and they're everywhere, or
I mean, if this is a hive, it's definitely giant, but there are relatively few bugs if this is a hive. Like, you've seen wasps' nests.
yeah?
There are lots of wasps. There are not this many agar.
Okay. Yeah, just looking at that, it's just like, oh god, we're all gonna die, and just like, no, but I'm just like,
All right.
So the bugs are flying to someplace on the far side. You've come back, you've got this wood. You've come back, you've got these rocks. I guess you were kind of holding them while you were looking at Aaron.
Yeah.
Thinking about smashing, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like I maybe there would be dry wood under the rocks. I wonder how these things work.
There was
Right,
lichen
like-
on some of them. Maybe
Yeah.
the lichen is made of wood.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, you
Does
become
lichen
lost in
burn?
thought and you bring back the rocks and you're like, right, wood.
I'm going to go up to Bryce. Do you need more?
No, that should do it.
Where would you like it?
Just right next to the mound, please.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to the mound.
Okay.
I brought rocks with which to make a fire pit.
Perfect. The radiant heat will be absorbed by the wood burning, and will actually continue to radiate heat out long after the fire is out. Congratulations, you did well.
I'm astonished.
I try and find a dry spot so that they don't get wet.
Well, maybe there'll be a dry spot under some of that snow.
I start trying to kick the snow aside.
All right. So you have sent him next to the mound, and you're in this place where you've been doing. He's starting to kick the snow.
Oh, no, right there is fine. Thank you. You can just put them down there.
They'll get wet.
It's okay. Just the top layer needs to be dry. That's all. Don't worry about it.
Just drop them.
Yeah, good.
I go stand by the cart.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I do want to remind you that you had an expense account and we didn't play out all of the shopping that you did in town. There are a bunch of miscellaneous things. So if you're at the point where you're like, oh, I really need a this, you don't have a this. But you have some other things that you can try to improvise with.
I bring back a flint and steel, or the closest thing to try and start a fire to help.
So we've also established that some of you had flint and steel.
Yeah,
last
okay,
time.
okay, perfect. Yeah.
I'm watching, like, eagerly.
Great.
Well, I think we turn it. Oh, go ahead.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna rummage around in the cart looking for some like dried corn puffs, which we don't have, but we do have some wheaty nibbles.
Oh, I was gonna say sweet bran.
Oh, wait, maybe we can have sweet bran and wheaty nibbles.
Yeah, decadent.
We have fruit hoops.
Oh, that's just apple slices that have been dried.
Those are yummy.
Yeah. Hey, do you want a fruit hoop while we watch whatever's gonna happen here? Erasmus, we're not dying, right?
Well, you haven't died yet.
What'd he say?
He says, absolutely not, I love you.
Ah. Wow. What a good guy.
I feel like, he's going to believe you no matter what, but there are other people listening, so maybe to give these people an indication of how to react, you should roll a deceive check.
Oh yeah, good idea.
I appreciate that I will always just believe it, because I will.
I get average.
An average deceive.
Yeah.
All right, well, take that as you like.
I fool Blaze and Shilgan. Soder's like, oh, we're gonna die.
Yeah. I thought we were going to get out of this. But no, we're dead.
All right.
Loop?
Let's like
Over
this.
to Bryce.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
You got this, Bryce. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you got it.
Right. So I'll walk up to the sticks where
Uh-huh.
where once it was everything trundled down. I'll arrange them into what looks to be a nice, sort of forty thing. Arrange the stones around them such that they're up against the edge of the hive, and very carefully use one of the longer twigs with some leaves still attached to it to kind of fix some of the stepping areas in the snow. that have
Right.
been messed up, so it's nice and pristine. And then I will light a fire.
All right. So, do you want to describe what's happening? And I'll just sort of step in here and there.
Yeah, actually, this works out. Well, let me describe up to the point where I know what's going to happen.
Okay, great.
As a character. So I will light a small fire underneath the logs.
So are you starting with flint and steel?
Nope, starting
Okay.
with another prepared piece of parchment that's been placed inside.
Okay.
Knock the flint and steel.
Okay.
And maybe I should roll a deceive check for this. I don't know if this is necessary. I'm assuming people are. Where is everyone in relation to?
Oh,
me?
I'm well back.
Yeah, I'm by the sleigh, eating sweet bran and weedy nibbles.
I also have a weedy nibble.
So I'm
Once you started fixing the footsteps, the dharam who knows what's going on is stepping back.
okay. Good. That's good to know as well. Okay, so we'll light a small fire in the in the wood. I'll keep an eye on that. Let it know that it's make sure it's burning, and then I'll step back a bit here. Keep stepping back until I'm outside of the area, what I assume is the area of effect. And I'll announce out loud to people, "Hey, okay, guys, it should be getting ready here in a second. We should be getting some thaw just about now."
All
At
right.
which point I will internally activate.
Okay.
Flame on?
What?
So,
The flame, it is on?
Yeah, it's the fire's going.
Oh, good.
all right.
Should
So
just be anytime.
I'm interested to see how visible it is. Would you like to roll a survival just to see what your initial flame looks like?
Absolutely, I'm very curious. Ooh, that's 2, 0, 1. That's an average survival.
All right. So you've done the flint and steel, and the parchment caught, but it's the tinder was too wet. It's
I should have admitted this parchment was one of the ones that I had, one of the 2 squares that I had inscribed the circle on earlier as well.
Oh, I misunderstood about the
My
prepared.
apologies.
All right.
Yes, that was.
So, the parchment is on fire and it has the inscribed circle.
Yep.
Is that now? Do I understand things?
I'm using that simply to create a foolproof fire out of what happened that they brought,
Got it.
just as a deception maneuver.
My wood was great.
So, you have the circle, the small circle on the parchment, and you have the great big circle that you tromped out with your boots.
Correct.
I think that this is the biggest thing you've ever attempted. Does that sound right to you?
That's absolutely correct.
All right. So, your internal activation is, okay, make this wood catch fire, have the fire from the small circle spread to the wood, and heat up the ground. All right. So, you have probably a 2-second warning that this is getting way out of control. Would you like to do anything during those 2 seconds?
Run away.
2 seconds. One of those seconds will be spent thinking, this is very cool. And the second one saying, I need to stop this. Which to me means think about it. Think about disengaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any chance I could see the stress that's going on Bryce's sort of face, and I just I invoke an aspect of things are better than you believe, and cheer him on, and go things might seem pretty hot right now, but you're doing great. You can do this, buddy. I believe in you. I don't know what's going on, but you are the best around, probably at this exact thing.
That's a 6 on a deceive. Yes, this is exactly what's supposed to be happening right now.
All right. And he is giving you a pump in the arm, and you're actually feeling like, okay, he believes in me. Maybe I can do.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly how you're going to do this.
Nor am I. At this point, I'm just trying to think the fire from going farther than it should be.
I'm using my power of blind optimism to help you.
All right. So, you are well known in Rasham for being one of the first people to get to every fire. And you also have a good reputation for helping to put those fires out. Some of those fires, people really have no indication of how they started other than what you said to them, because you were the only person who was there when those fires started. I think you have really enjoyed a number of those fires.
Oh, yes.
I think that this fire that's about to be the biggest fire you have ever seen maybe doesn't need to stop.
Maybe it's the best fire you've ever seen.
No, you know what? You're exactly right. It doesn't need to stop. It just needs to be contained.
All right.
Which might just mean instead of trying to stop it, my mind focuses on containing and focusing it not in size, but just an area.
Okay, so instead of this being a spherical fire, maybe this is a cylindrical fire?
You're making a pillar of flame.
Oh, I was thinking either cylindrical or contained spherical, both above and below ground.
Well, spherical in my mind means that if, for example, it shoots up 50 feet, it also shoots out 50 feet. Are you happy with that?
I would rather. Okay, no, let's go with the cylindrical then.
Okay.
Cool.
How much do you want to be on fire?
I generally don't want to be on fire, but I do like being near fire.
All right.
Is Erasmus telling me to take a step back at this point? He's like, psst,
So you already have taken a step back.
but like a further step back?
We're looking
So-
at 2 seconds here.
Yeah, I think maybe you feel a tingle that you sometimes feel right before he tries to force you to do something. And then it doesn't become a 50-foot sphere of fire. It becomes a 100-foot cylinder of fire. So there's a pillar of flame that
Straight into the air.
everyone is going to see. How much nearby catches fire? How are you reacting? Certainly there are a few birds, jumping. Yeah.
I am still cheering for Bryce throughout like this whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I assume this is what you're meaning to do. Good job, Bryce.
120 feet.
You know that scene, The Color Purple, where Danny Glover's character has been trying to cook the meal, and is it Whoopi Goldberg's character
Right,
sitting on
Whoopi
the
Goldberg,
porch
yeah.
on her rocking chair, like watching him, and then he starts to light the oven, and it cuts back to Whoopi Goldberg, and her chair is just rocking back and forth on the porch.
Yeah.
Soder's gone.
I want a moment here where Shilgan is just standing there, and the explosion happens, and the ear flaps and the scarf blow back, but he's just kind of sitting there staring at it. Huh. But just immobile other than the flaps.
And similar as well to that, except much happier.
So,
Oh, I was gonna say, are any of like our zombie friends around? Can I just like make sure that if one of them is wandering by me, I just sort of grab it and like pull it back?
I think that's going to be needed.
All right. Oh, hey, Gar. Nah, just spin him around, point him in the other direction. He wanders off.
Runs into another tree.
I'm taking away your cold aspect.
Oh, good. Oh.
Finally, I'm warm.
And we should give you an aspect for your emotional reaction to all of this fire energy emerging from your body and causing this great big... what kind of aspect should you have from this? Ecstatic or...
I mean, ecstatic is a good one. I definitely want it to happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think repeat offender might be a good name for that.
So if you want to have a permanent aspect, you can do that as well, because I don't think you had all of your aspects. I'm also just giving you a temporary aspect from this euphoria that you're experiencing right now.
Okay, yeah, no, that's just, yeah, then ecstatic is fine.
Sure.
Or adrenaline.
Yes. All right. So you're taking care of zombies. I think you have like probably about 7 of I mean, zombies is a strong word, but the
Uncontrolled villagers, yeah.
right.
Well, like this flame is happening, and I'm just like, I assume this is going on for a few seconds, right?
Yes.
And I'm just looking around, feeling warm finally. Snow is melting. Are any singed birds falling out of the sky?
No, but I
What's the
feel
hive
like
doing to this? Yeah.
so there are a bunch of Igar that are flying out of the hive and just kind of buzzing around.
Gross. What is Steve doing throughout all this?
Kind of standing back and smiling.
Darn.
So I think this is a point where you could try to shoot little tendrils of flame out of this giant column, and like if you wanted to try being a bug zapper.
Just sort of a sunspot or arcs of the fire.
Yeah.
Blaze is so cool.
This is draining you, by the way.
Wait, no, I'm Blaze. Bryce is
Yeah.
so
I was gonna be like, wait a second.
I'm so cool. No, Bryce is so cool.
I
I was
didn't
just like,
catch
is
how.
Blaze's last name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blaze and Bryce are too similar.
Well, no, it's more so that I'm just like, yeah, the fire guy, Blaze.
Yeah, Blaze. I was like, that's a little on the nose, isn't it? And I was,
Yeah, I noticed a couple of the mosquitoes, and I do think about. I think about maybe seeing if I could move the fire to
So you can use your shoot skill if you want to try to zap them.
my shoot skill.
Yes.
Yes, my shoot skill. I will definitely use my shoot skill to do that.
I mean, this isn't something you've had a lot of practice in.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
Turns out I'm mediocre at that.
All right, so you're not going to zap any of them.
Well, hold on. Because you have a shoot skill at
I
all?
do not have a
well,
shoot
it starts
skill.
at 0.
Yeah.
And so you rolled a... Oh, no, you are
Exact-
mediocre.
Yep.
I was so excited. I was like, no, you're average.
You've got so many fate points,
Okay,
though.
now
Yeah.
let's say that while I'm doing this, I did maybe something licks out the side of the column. Nothing really happens, and I think to myself, well, you know what? What if I tried just kind of using my hands to maybe influence it as well?
So you're putting in some somatic components, we could say, to
Exactly.
try to sort of. So
Firebending.
yeah, so now it's quite obvious that you're the one controlling. So you guys are seeing this. He's doing arm motions, and then fire is licking out in those motions from this column. Now there are some people in the village who have some minor magical abilities, and people are often respectful of those people, if only because they can be a bit dangerous. Because ever since the fall of the Dark Lord, magic has been unreliable and not very controllable. Have any of you ever seen magic on this scale before that is happening right in front of you?
I've heard stories of it, but never seen it.
Maybe I saw something once,
Okay.
and I'm like, oh.
And did that end well?
No, probably not. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't, if you're like, should I take the thing? Yes. Uh-oh. Like, I imagine one of those scenarios.
All right.
Yeah, I've heard tale of a lot of transfiguration magic and stuff like that, where there's an old hermit that supposedly lives in the Elkwoods that turns trespassers into pigs.
And
I've definitely read about 96 dead in unauthorized summoning accident.
I love the idea of Shogun having encountered some incredible natural phenomenon, like a tree, like an entire mountain coming to life and walking and going back down, and him just being like, "Yep." He's like,
So sometimes mountains walk.
yeah. Like I walk, sheep walk, mountain walk.
I saw it. It's a natural phenomenon.
yeah,
I'm not here to judge.
you don't understand most of what you see, so you saw another thing, and
So
you
now
didn't
this is-
understand that either.
Now this is Pillar of Fire.
All right.
Hey,
Okay.
Erasmus.
Yes.
So I know that you made a deal so we wouldn't die, which was very nice. But was the deal that we would come and release all the Egar from the hive so our whole city could be destroyed?
Not those last 7 words.
Ah, okay. Oh, but we're releasing all the Egar.
Mostly, he just wants the queen.
Okay. What happens if they all get... What happens if this fire gets a little bit too hot and too big, though? Wouldn't that hurt the queen?
Well, the queen is fairly far underground. This
Bryce
is all
seems
kind
very
of happening at the speed of thought, by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
because
yeah.
this is a telepathic conversation. So I'm guessing that the column is going to exist for about 5 seconds, and if you want it to last longer than that, we're going to talk about consequences. But you can very quickly think this conversation. So if this seems like it's stretching
As
out,
soon as I start see more Egar flying out, I'm like, oh, bum. Erasmus, you rascal. So what happens if I convince Bryce to make this fire really, 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 really big?
well, I assumed that was as big as he could make it. I guess we'll find out. The deal was he would melt the ground so that the servants could dig down and free the queen, and then he would let all of you go back to town.
Okay. I mean, that's it. That sounds like a pretty decent deal.
Yes, I'm good at deals.
Yeah, I know. That's why I listen to you. All right. So meanwhile, Bryce.
Have I noticed where the Egar sapped their proboscis into? Like, is it the back of the neck or like forehead? Does it vary?
For the most part, it's going to be somewhere in this area. Like,
I wrap my scarf very tightly around that area since
Okay.
I think maybe the terms of whatever deal that has prevented that from happening to us might be in violation soon.
so, anyone else have anything they want to do during these 5 seconds?
I am still cheering on Bryce.
Okay.
Good.
So, Bryce, what's happening?
I have become very enamored with my big fire that I made. But now I notice two things. That number one, that tickling feeling or that feeling of exhaustion, which generally comes at the end of a very long baking day, is happening very, very, very quickly. And two, it's a big fire. So what I'm going to try to do is I'd like to actually attempt to use my baking skill in conjunction with this to try and pull this size fire down into just a nice low bake, like what I usually do inside an oven, but now on a very large scale.
Yes. Because, so you should absolutely try to do that.
Okay.
Because if you fail to contain it, it's going to keep taking energy out of you, and you can't afford to keep feeding it its energy.
Good to know. That is a 2, 3, 4, 3. That is a good result.
Are you happy with that?
I'm not entirely happy with that, so I'm going to attempt to... Actually, I'm going to spend a fate point to boost that using my high concept talented apprentice baker
Okay.
option.
So you've actually had other things where you've had to rein in the fire, and you remember how to do that.
Yeah, this is how I became such a good and well-known baker, is by my manipulation of temperatures at right times.
Yes. And you might recall that before that he was a blacksmith.
Yes.
Yes. So you now have a superb manipulation of this fire, which means you can bring it way down so that it's now just a bonfire, and it will cost you 1 point of mental stress.
Ideally, I'd like to bring it down lower than that, but if that's as high as I can get it, then...
I will let you bring it down lower than that, but I will take 2 points of mental stress.
Bryce attempts to take it down lower and feels that he can't quite sustain that, so maintains it at bonfire level.
All right. So the bonfire level is where it is for now. That is still taking a lot of energy from you because there wasn't that much wood. So one option that you know from experience is that if you just leave, once you're far enough away, it'll just be a normal fire. Because that's what has happened in your oven sometimes. I don't know if you want to risk just walking off. I'm just making sure you have all the information. You can also make an attempt, 5 or 10 seconds from now to further stop this flow of energy out of your body.
Yeah, we'll try that again in another round.
Right. So there's some mental stress, but it's also still feeling really good.
I'm going to say that the mental stress is going to examine itself as sort of a drunkenness.
Okay. So what are the rest of you doing?
When I notice the fire start going down, I'm going to be like, nice job, Bryce.
Thanks.
You know what I bet burns great? Igar. Can you make the fire go underground?
I don't see why not.
I read about it in a book once. Apparently it's spectacular.
So you have a lot of fire control magic. In order to get the fire, you know, if you could somehow get someone with a bunch of earth magic to help you out, you could start turning some of the dirt into liquid hot magma.
That would be fun.
So, has anyone been promised a bunch of strong magic lately?
Oh. Hey, Erasmus.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest here. I wanted to become a scribe because I wanted people to leave me alone, and I realized that I hate people. So I'm actually prepared to give myself over to a life of evil and misdeeds. I will.
Well, that was easy.
This is the inner monologue, right?
Yeah.
Can you very quickly teach me some earth magic?
Well, so you're offering to live a life of evil misdeeds if I give you earth magic.
Well, I'm not saying a whole. What I'm saying is I'll listen to you more, and I'll. And
What about
we'll-
a fortnight of evil deeds?
we'll work together more as a team rather than me just calling you when I need to. Maybe you can butt in, and you can, you know, we'll have discussions about what we do from time to time. How about that? Because I think, I mean, would you enjoy screwing over this dharam and burning all the Igar he's trying to release so he can kill us all? And then maybe, if things go well, I can sacrifice a dharam to you.
This game got dark.
Ah, yes,
the
that
season.
classic festival
Yeah.
tradition of selling your soul to a devil.
Merry non-denominational holiday.
To all of us.
I'm just saying yes.
It's by my own petard.
Hoisted by your own Picard.
So, he is also going to say yes.
Oh, fantastic.
So what he's going to do is he's going to give you a very detailed image that needs to be precisely carved into your flesh somewhere. And then this scar gives you permanent access to earth magic.
Okay. How detailed is it? And does it have
what's
to keep, like, is it like, oh yeah, okay, this will take a couple seconds, or is this going to take like 3 minutes, and do I have to wait for it to scab over?
The answer to the last part is definitely no.
Okay, cool.
Are you at a Slayer concert now?
Can I grab a very crunchy wheaty nibble and be like, oh my god, Erasmus, fine, like,
You
roll up
probably
my sleeve.
have a knife. You don't have to.
I'm already eating the wheaty nibbles.
I don't think you can carve a permanent magical scar into your flesh with a weedy nibble.
I'm gonna.
You
I-
don't. Oh, sorry.
I would guess you would have something called a pen knife.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
We have hatchets, we have blades.
We have many sharp objects that
The
aren't
wheaty
just.
nibbles are already in my hand.
Nothing that's clearly a weapon, because that's illegal.
Specifically you
Yeah.
have this very object.
All right.
So this scar is going to be with you for a while,
Okay.
and people can presumably see you doing this. If you want to do a hasty slash and stab, you can. I mean, the 3-minute option is going to give you some nicer body art,
Right.
but I guess you can get it cleaned up later.
You know, you can always go back to some sort of like. I'm sure there's somebody who's better at carving magical sigils than I am. Who do I know that's really talented with scissors? Hey!
So
Don't ask any questions. I need you to carve this pattern into my arm.
Well, it'd take too long to. He can fix it up later. It'll take too long to explain it.
So I think for now you're kind of just like getting a nail or a penknife or something and sketching it out, and then getting enough blood flow that you're filling this. This is all right. So you do that.
Erasmus, is this gonna work?
We'll make it work.
Cool. Do I have to roll for that? I can roll in calligraphy.
I would think that would be an excellent skill to roll for this.
Hey, that gives me a superb. I have
Dang.
good handwriting.
Dang.
Wow.
With a flourish.
You sign it afterwards.
Oh, force of habit.
Steena original.
Does this have serifs?
This is such a metal festivus. There's a pillar
It
of
is.
fire. Steena's like,
When you're when
I'm
you're
like trying to be subtle about it. I'm
when you're
like,
carving wording into your flesh, you really want to watch The Descenders.
wow.
and I'm just like outside cheering. Yeah, I'm like,
I'm still just picturing ear flaps.
Well, this is happening. What is the dharam doing?
So he was expecting the ground to be thawed, and he didn't know what to expect. He was just told there was going to be fire magic.
Okay.
And this is way better than anything he thought was going to happen.
Would
so
he
he's
be
happy.
distracted?
He's not from the fire, but from lots of other things.
Okay. So he's
Why don't
paying
we
attention
give
to
him
the fire.
a temporary aspect of focused on the fire.
Because I would like to try to use this opportunity to sneak up on him.
So you could stealth, and for example, you could invoke his focused on the fire.
I would like to do that.
All right. So that's going to cost.
I should have had one left.
Okay. I haven't been dragging him, but I trust you.
I used one earlier for evaluating the Zomboard, or I used one earlier to evaluate the presence of the thing in his
Right.
leg,
Cool.
and I had 2. So here we go.
I may have grabbed it and spent it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Anyway, go ahead.
okay.
Ooh.
So that's 3, and then I'm invoking his distracted.
Okay. So that gives you another 2.
Okay, so that's a 5. Superb.
All right. So you have given him. All right. So he's going to see if he notices you.
ooh,
Straight lines are pluses, right?
That's what I said yesterday or last week.
nah.
Same rules apply to you as to me, right?
Yes, they
Okay,
do.
perfect.
That's why I was going for the call.
Yeah.
So you definitely sneak up on him.
Okay. We established that he had a knife, right?
He
Like
has
a
several
sidearm.
knives. Yeah.
I would like to relieve him of one
Okay.
using burglary.
Do you have a thief skill?
Yeah?
Nice.
All right. So you have stealthed up on him, and now you're going to burgle him.
Yes.
Please do.
Cool.
That would be good.
All right.
Good burgling.
Good Virgo.
Don't yurgle the burgle.
I would presume that since
good
he has no idea I'm here.
He has no idea you're there. No matter what, you get the knife.
Okay.
So the next thing I'm going to figure out is whether he feels you taking the knife out of its scabbard.
Okay.
So the ones with the 2 lines.
The
It's an
intersecting
X.
lines.
It's
Yeah.
an X, which is
All
bad, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take away his temporary aspect of focused on the fire, and yeah, I think that's about all I'm going to do. And I think now we're going to move into combat rounds. So I would like
Stabby, stabby.
everybody to roll notice, please.
Do I roll notice? Or is this noticing me?
So you're we're rolling to see if you notice that he's about to attack you before he notices what's going on. So this is effectively the initiative check.
Ooh.
That would be a great roll.
So Soter is great. What's Shilgan?
Great.
And what's Steena?
I am good.
You're good. And what's Blaze?
Mediocre.
I am average.
Bryce is
sorry.
average.
See, now we're both doing it.
I just keep hearing
Fire.
But yeah, Blaze.
Yeah.
Why would you not name the fire guy Blaze?
Well,
Let's be too on the nose.
That would be contrived, Ian.
I am
Yeah, we say that stuff for my
an
campaign.
average.
All right. So, Blaze. Blaze is average and Bryce is mediocre. Correct. Okay.
You're the fire starter.
That's been in my head the whole
Yes,
time.
same. Well, and then once Kathleen started carving into her arm, now I've just got like raining blood.
Yeah,
In my-
yeah, Slayer. Yeah.
Then
Then you guys are gonna jump up with Knight of Fire?
it's just like a very black metal
I'm probably
Christmas.
gonna go home and
we
listen
need-
to metal tonight.
Yeah, we
to
need
be
like.
honest.
Can we have Slayer but with like jingling bells?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that cover's been done.
Jingle bell. Actually, I guess it's like.
But-
Slayer's like faster, so it'd be like jingle bells, jingle all the way. I will follow this new battle when I summon fly.
I would contend
Yeah.
this is very seasonal because, as we know, many Christmas traditions, such as are from like Germany, Scandinavia, that part of Yule logs. It's all very pagan festivals that have been adapted, and this is very like metal, which is also from that part of the world.
True.
It's good.
Nothing says
We're on
Christmas
theme.
like drowning antediluvian insect queens in magma.
Yeah.
So we did talk about what you wanted me to run for the two-parter, and I did give you some dark ideas, and you
yeah.
chose like a happy one. So I thought, oh, we want to be festive and happy. So that's why I was kind of
And we ruined it.
Yeah. Loading ready run.
we did dark our own way. So, Shilgan, you've noticed basically everything. You're right at the top there. You've noticed the magical rune carving in the arm. You've noticed the theft. You've noticed the dharam going for his axe.
Well, definitely gotta protect the flock.
Right.
And if somebody's trying to hurt one of the people there, I'm going to use my sling,
Okay.
and I'm going to try and shoot the person who's trying to hurt.
Please
Soccer.
do.
All right. So here's a shoot, and that is superb because I have
Wow.
my sling expert stunt.
Okay. So that's superb. I am only good in my resistance. So I'm going to use a 2-point physical stress box.
Ooh.
And you smacked me with a slingstone. Well done.
Excellent.
Now the mosh pit starts.
However, except he didn't go down, and it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
Usually they go down when that happens.
Most predators drop with one rock.
Yeah.
yeah, this is. He's an experienced combatant. He's a military veteran.
I'm gonna need
Yeah.
more rocks.
If you
Yes.
dome somebody out with a rifle and they're like, ow! You'd be like, we're good! I'm sorry!
I was like, uh-oh.
And looks like Soter's up.
Okay, I am going to,
You got a knife.
I do have a knife, and there is that, what I've established in my mind to be some kind of magical rod.
Yes. Inside his trousers.
That sounds weird when I say it like that.
It's ornate.
Think about it.
And a little bit bent
anything
for some
besides the
reason.
dharam's penis.
I'm going to,
twisted.
I'm going
For some reason the
to,
top's cut off?
I'm a tailor now.
Yes,
And so
yes, you
I
are.
think of everything in terms of like clothing, and there's just like a seam running along where that goes. And I'm like, I've ripped tougher stitches in my life.
Okay, so you're attacking his trousers.
Basically,
as it
I
were.
want to cut out the.
Suspicious rod.
Yeah, I suspect that this might be some kind of magical device that is allowing him to communicate with the Egar.
That makes sense.
So, are you? So you've got this knife. I think I want a haberdashery check from you.
Ooh, excellent.
So it's at
That's
an
a
angle.
cock die.
What would that make you roll?
A 3.
Merely good.
Merely good.
All right. Well, let's see if he is.
How's tough are his pants, though? Are they flimsy material, hastily assembled?
So, everything about this guy's equipment looks impressive.
Right. I assume finely made.
So, but you have a knife, and he is not very quick. Like he saw you there with the knife, and he's expecting you to come at his face
Right.
or his chest, and you go for his trousers. And he clearly wasn't expecting that. So you haven't physically hurt him, but his pants are falling down, and there's a twisted piece of wood on the ground.
Yoink, I say.
I say yoink.
So,
Yeah.
Steena,
Oh boy.
you have blood on your arm and some power that you have no idea how to use.
Cool.
But you can tell you have the power. You feel it there.
How exciting.
This is just like the Transformers movie.
How powerful do I feel? Quite powerful?
More powerful than you have ever felt in your life.
Exciting. All right. And it's earth magic?
Yes.
So I can do something like make... So did I see that stick fall out of his pants?
Yes.
Can I say, like, make the earth pick up that stick and bring it to me?
So...
Or does Soda already have it?
No, it's on the ground.
Yeah.
So why don't you make a burglary check?
Cool. Hold on, though. But I've definitely read about earth magic, so I'm going to be using lore for that instead. Because I've read about, controlling the things of the earth. So I'm...
Although, when you were reading about the earth magic, they were how to turn dirt into gold,
Right.
not how to control sticks on the ground. That's the one you put in, and here's the one I'm offering you.
But I'm a very confident person.
Then I need one more.
Oh, I'm very confident.
All right,
I
go
want
ahead.
that stick. I'm already feeling earthy magic. Once I have another magical stick, I'm gonna be really cool. So that is, well, I'm glad I did that because that is a superb.
Goodbye.
Okay.
I'm on your team though, it's okay.
Goodbye, negotiating power.
So you have a twisty stick.
Cool.
Oh,
Do I
no.
have time to wave it around and see if it does anything?
I
not,
think
that's okay.
all that's happening right now is you're waving it around, and so far it hasn't done anything.
Oh, that's okay though.
So what did everyone else just see?
They saw
Light flash before my eyes.
They saw the stick fall to the ground with a clatter. Soda and the dharam looked at it, and then suddenly the earth rose up into a gigantic palm, lifting, and then like a forearm rose out of the earth, lifting and grasping the stick, and then it traveled up, spraying snow and clods of earth and like at least one or two very startled voles into the air, and it brought it right to me, and it like presented it with a flourish. And then I went, la-da! And then like blood dripped off my arm into the snow, and so that kind of like,
Could we say slush instead of snow?
Slush,
There's
yeah.
been a lot of fire, very hot, very nearby.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so just like waves of slush, like a snowplow going through after like a sudden dump. Just
Sudden dump is exactly what's happening right now.
Okay, so you've taken that. I'm going to ignore you
Yay.
and go after the person with my twisted stick.
okay.
And I'm going to use my axe for that.
Oh dear. Oh, I haven't been hit yet.
Are
I
his
can help with
trousers
that.
in inhibiting him at all?
I will give him a temporary aspect of ripped trousers. It's good enough. I'll probably give you guys a free invoke on that.
Nice.
I don't like that roll. So, Kathleen, do you have any sort of combat skills that you can be used to nimbly avoid the very large axe coming at you?
I have physique.
Physique is what determines how good you feel after the axe has been embedded in you. If you have athletics or...
Good Lord, no.
Okay.
I wanted to be inside and never move.
Well, let's see how that's working out for you.
Oh, poorly, I'm sure. Ooh, very poorly, because I, in fact, have no skill, and I roll a -1, so I am at poor.
All right.
Poor.
If I may at this point, I'm going to invoke my stunt ally's shield
Okay.
and use the high concept junior shepherd, basically the take one for the flock. Seeing
All
that
right.
she's about to be pummeled for an elf, I'm just going to be like, huh. And just like basically brace it so I take the blow instead of her.
All right.
Aw.
Now, you get to make a defense roll on that, I believe?
Yes. It's not terribly good. The whole I don't dodge it, I don't do any finagling, I just take the hit for her.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's a crit -1. So
We watched a man die today.
yeah, so I start at average and then I roll. What's below terrible?
Nothing.
Okay, good.
So,
That's
Okay,
a
but
nothingness, children.
Before anything
The end.
further happens,
Oh!
may I invoke one of her skills, if possible?
One of my skills
No.
or your
No,
skills?
okay.
but you can. I'm giving you a free invoke on his torn trousers.
Does somebody? Sure. Well, do we have to spend a
No,
for the?
because it's
Okay,
free. That's
but
what free
luckily,
is.
yeah, sure. But luckily, his torn trousers make it so he can't quite hit me with everything.
Right, because when my attack is superb and your attack is terrible, that's not very good for you.
I
so
would take
now,
7.
Yes, that's how that works. So now his attack is only good.
Okay.
I take 5.
Yes.
I can actually take 5. So I will take. I will fill my 4 physical box,
Okay.
and I will
That
take.
leaves you with 1. You
Yeah, I'll
can
take a minor.
also fill your 1 physical box.
Oh, not have to take a consequence at all.
Right,
Brilliant. I will go with that option.
because you're just this great big husky guy.
Yeah.
So check those off, please.
Yeah. I don't have a pencil, so
Oh.
yeah. All right.
Oh, Cam has a pencil.
Not too late.
All right, so you. Wow, so you're pretty stressed, but you're not even like
Bleeding or
from that.
anything. Yeah. It's
You-
like, oh.
Maybe he tripped and the axe flipped around and he just brained you with the back
That
half. so
sounds
you
Sure,
have,
right.
sure,
Yeah.
sure,
You
sure.
have like a horrible bruise and like maybe like a broken
Mild
rib,
concussion.
but you're not dead.
So the weird thing about the consequence description is I don't have those injuries. I just
Oh.
took the blow, but I'm tough enough that I haven't cracked anything. It's just
Oh,
like
you're just very winded.
I just say oof.
I
don't
like
know-
the description because that would explain
Yeah.
why the axe
didn't cut me in half.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Blaze, who is not the fire guy.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
So, okay, looking at the zombies,
Yes.
what are they doing like right now?
They are trying to lumber toward the defense of the dharam,
Okay.
whom I believe you called Steve.
Yes. Is there any chance? I guess I mean, you're not. I gotta figure it out myself. I want to try and distract them so that the team can deal with the guy.
All right.
So I want to, I guess, like, I essentially run over and kind of like, because I assume they're kind of traveling this like a path,
Yeah.
almost, right? I kind of like run kind of near them, and I
okay,
go
so
like,
who's in the lead? Who's this person you know you're running up to?
Carl is there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carl, who has been fighting with his husband
Yes.
and hates the Winter Festival.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes. I go, Carl, and all of you, over here. You don't want, that fire is going to get everywhere and it's going to end up burning everything. You guys don't want to be anywhere near that. Come, I'll lead you all to safety.
So give me a skill check on that.
Would that be rapport by any chance? Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah?
Ooh.
That would be superb.
All right. Well, let's see how Carl's will is at the moment. Carl starts following you.
Nice.
Do the rest of the zombies, by any chance, also kind of fall privy to my, like, you guys got to get away here?
So, at this point, you know, you've got, that was enough that you could influence one of these guys.
Yeah.
And now he's just doing what you say.
Oh.
And you've said go this way, and so like you're like go this way, and he started moving his arm that way, the way you were moving it, and he's doing what you told him to do.
If I go this way.
He starts.
Send him at the dharam.
Anyway,
Carl, destroy Steve!
so you've given
Okay.
him one instruction,
Yeah.
and he's following it.
You okay?
Dang.
All right, Bryce. You have a fire there. It's still going. You've seen earth magic happening. You know if you both could just use your great magics, you could get the liquid hot magma that you were describing earlier.
At this point, I'm going to look over. I mean, I've seen what happened with Steena and her earth magic happening. Is there any way you can make the ground soft to heat? Make it take the heat better.
I
mean,
think
maybe
at
when my
this
initiative
point,
comes up.
right, I'm going to
Yeah.
let you have the conversation for free. I think you should each roll lore right now to see if you can communicate your concepts, because you don't have the vocabulary to explain what you need. The answer is she is absolutely capable of what you need her to do.
But does she know? Do I know if I'm even saying the right words? The answer is no.
All right.
That's that's not even on the ladder.
Well, so one of the things you can do is invoke an aspect for a reroll.
Okay.
That looked like 3 minus signs and a blank.
That was 3 minus signs and a blank, yes.
How do you feel about a reroll?
I feel very good about a reroll. You know what? Actually, I'm going to say that I'm going to invoke my talented apprentice baker yet again on that. That in addition to learning how to bake, I have also learned how to teach people to bake, which means I now have a better example of providing examples of what I want done in alternate words. So let's try that again.
Yes. That's better by 3, because those are all blank.
That is mediocre.
Hooray.
It's better than terrible.
How was your lore?
Mine was superb.
So you feel confident that you could do whatever it is he wants, but he's not quite.
You want to bake a bun?
I need you to make the dirt and the fire work together. We need to combine somehow.
He's just told you that he needs to bake at 450 for 30 minutes. And,
Yeah.
like, very technical.
The fire needs to get into the dirt.
So on your turn, you can try to do what he needs you to do. So you're setting things up so that if she succeeds, you're making the magma.
Not into the dirt hole. I mean into the dirt itself.
So
Kind of almost dying here.
Isn't that a frontline assembly lyric? Into the dirt. Into the dirt itself.
So all of these Igar that have been sort of swarming around because of the fire are now coming and circling the dharam, kind of the way they sometimes do when they're not doing anything yet. Like you see flies or bugs like circling around, and it's like, what are they doing? They're just waiting. And that's what's happening. It looks like these Igar are around the dharam waiting for something.
You've got the stick.
I hope so.
You've got the
I hope
magic conch.
I hope that's what I have.
I'll let you may speak.
I made a lot of big promises to get this magic conch.
Yeah.
So I hope it's not just like his favorite knobbly stick that his aunt gave to him or
That
something
he keeps
like
in his
that.
pants by his junk.
I hope it's just not like dharam funk all over it. It does nothing.
Ooh. So the humans who aren't Carl are all also walking, but they're walking slowly.
Yeah.
So they're going to get into sort of the same zone as you guys, but not do anything this round. So now you have these zombies kind of all around you.
Cool.
Oh, bad.
They're friends.
I'm working
No.
on them one by one, guys.
No.
So Shulgin, what's up?
This man hit me with an axe.
Yes, he did.
I don't appreciate that. I'm going to hit him with another rock. Hopefully it'll go down this time.
All right, well, let's see how you do.
With your sling?
Yeah. Ow. Gah. I got a fantastic attack
Wow.
roll.
He's our fight man.
Yes.
Because I'm a sling expert.
Wow. Well, that was lovely. I'm poor.
So this time I strike for 7. We're
This time
trading.
you
We're
strike for
trading
7.
7 blows.
All
But you're
right.
very close range, so it's less of a wham, just more of a wham.
like a sack full of orange.
Yeah.
This kind of thing.
And I've already. All right.
Now
Well,
you're doing
I
poorly.
take the 7,
Oh,
but he's not looking so good.
Yeah.
I can
Has he
imagine.
taken some type of consequence that I can invoke, or
He filled his 4 stress and his 3 stress.
dang?
And his trousers.
It's like in Vampire, when you throw everything into an attack and the GM, or the keeper says, he soaks. Like,
Okay. Right.
So Soter, he's not looking at you anymore.
yeah, he's in fact rather over there.
Yeah.
I feel vaguely insulted. But also, there's over there, which is much safer. Oh, okay.
You can just remove yourself from the combat zone.
That seems rude.
You can help me with these zombies.
Yeah. Is there townsfolk I don't like?
What?
You do
Yeah.
You tell me. There are a bunch of townsfolk here.
I mean, presumably, I assume we kill the queen and all the bugs will fall over.
Presumably.
Hopefully liberating them? But what if not?
I mean, so far by talking, I was able to at least take control of Carl a little bit.
Yeah.
If there's somebody you like, maybe you could also try and talk to him.
I mean, like that. You have like an amazing rapport skill.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of your thing.
I'm the charisma guy. That's why I'm not fighting.
Yeah.
You can just go around trying to knock out zombie-controlled villagers just in case.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
bop
What
them on the
happens
head.
What happens if you just pull out one of them Igar?
Cut all
Yeah.
their pants off.
Going to change what I'm going to do next turn. But what if the queen's not awake yet? What happens if we don't kill it, but we do wake it up?
Well, that's why I want to.
That's why she's
Wake
got
it up with lava.
She's got the
kill
magic
it with
conch.
fire, literally.
I mean, that's the plan.
Tell you what, I'm going to run over to Erin, let's say, since it's the name I remember.
Sure.
I'm going to tackle her.
Okay.
And
do
I'm
you have
going-
a fist skill?
I do.
Great. Let's use that.
I am fair at fistmanship.
I am terrible.
Okay.
So you have tackled her.
And I want to cut away at whatever's if I can't see where this thing is like sticking in, I want to cut away and see if I can actually examine it. Like no,
Oh.
like not the probot. I don't want to cut it off. I want to see how this thing is like actually jabbed into her.
Okay. You can see that. What's a useful response? Like, what are you looking for?
Is the proboscis barbed? Is it smooth? Is it infected looking? Is it?
So I don't know how you would see the tip of the proboscis to find out if it's barbed, but you can't see any barbs along the part you
Okay.
can see.
Is it like going in along the skin? Is it going right down into flesh?
It's going. You can see the ridge, and it's going to the spinal column.
Don't want to get in there.
So
That's
the
where
other
the
question you
Black Acre is
asked is whether it looked infected, and the answer is yes.
Gross.
Yes. I think that's your turn.
Yeah, that sounds like my turn.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So Steena, you don't have anything to do, right?
Oh, I don't have.
Unlimited cosmic power.
I should hope so. Holy crap, I just saw poor Shilgan, poor, good, sturdy, large, bearded Shilgan, who in my head just looks exactly like Surge. Like, regardless of the character art. I'm just
Surge
like,
with a beard.
Surge. And I'm just like, wow, he just took one for the team. I'm gonna try to use my earth magic to to make a big wall of earth rise up and protect us, like basically encircle the dharam. I'm gonna see how much I can do with it. See if this magic stick makes me more powerful.
All right.
So maybe he'll have to like break his way out and waste his turn and not attack us.
So I think we're looking for a physique check because this is just like you're trying to guess, you know, what kind of oomph you're gonna need where, and this is like how much digging have you done in your life? What do you know about? Like you just haven't had this power long enough to.
No. Maybe I should try something simpler. No, that's not my style. All right, let's see what I can do. I've got a +1 to physique, so
Flex on him.
I'm gonna try.
Good roll?
No,
It's the +1.
no, it's +1, so I have fair.
All right.
On putting earth between us and the dharam.
So he's gonna try to step away from the moving earth while you're having it rise up because that works. Wow.
Triple minus.
That'll do it.
I was about to say but I think I will not.
Oh no!
So,
Earth bending.
You're a natural.
Where's the airbender?
so you've got this. He's just surrounded.
Yeah.
He's sort of encased in dirt.
It's not like so he's gonna suffocate or anything. It's more like a coffin of dirt.
Well, so my question was going to be: are you prioritizing how rigid this dirt is, or are you prioritizing how breathable the dirt is?
Oh, rigidity for sure.
Okay. So.
I mean,
Prioritize rigidity.
I've got a stick. I'm prioritizing rigidity.
Good stuff.
It's his turn.
Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Does he just Kool-Aid Man through it?
he got the opposite roll this time.
Yes, he did.
+3.
Turgid enough.
So, on the one hand,
Yeah.
I believe you have relieved me of the responsibility of describing what happens. On the other hand, that's all that happens.
Yes.
Like, you
Nice stun.
effectively cost him a turn.
Sweet.
That's all I needed to do.
All right.
I'm not good at combat.
So, Blaze.
Yes. I'm in control of Carl.
Yes, you are.
Would instructing Carl to do an action basically be my turn?
Depends how complicated the action is. Like, right now, he's just going to leave because you told him to do that.
Right. Okay. Instead I go, wait, Carl! Small man! Punch!
So,
Dharam's slightly shorter, right?
Yes.
He's like, yes, okay.
Quite a
okay.
bit shorter.
Yeah, okay. So I go, he loves Festivus and non-denominational holiday, and is also the reason you're having marital problems. If you take him out, it'll solve everything.
so is that a deceive?
Go
Go ahead and roll deceive.
Empathy? Sure, deceive.
I mean, you told him to go punch, so he's going to go punch.
Yeah.
Just curious to see how you are at this.
Well, I don't have any deception, so I would say I am mediocre at it.
All right. So he's going to go punch, but I'm not giving any sort of anger boost. He is not going to have any real effect on the dharam, but he got in there and did some punch.
Okay, he's getting in the way.
Yeah.
Good job, Carl.
And is there some other sort of minor act you want to do this round before we see what's happening with the fire?
I don't suppose using my stunt. No, I don't know if my stunt really works, if I can do that, so to clarify, I guess, on it,
Yes.
do I need multiple people really
I believe
partaking in
that
it?
you need people encircling people.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to save this for later, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, instead, as my last sort of thing, who's next? Bryce. I guess I can like cheer him on as like a reaction sort of thing, right? Or should I spend my turn?
You can do that once you see what he's doing.
Then I will pass, and instead I'll just like clap on Carl and be like, "You tried, buddy. You tried."
What can you do for us, Bryce?
That's a good question. Where am I right now in relation to what's going on with this over here?
This situation.
Yeah, this.
I mean, I feel like you've been talking to her. What,
Okay, so we're within a couple steps, is what we're saying. Okay, I reach out to grab your arm, the one that's been sigiled, and say, "I need you to help with the earth."
oh, are you going to try to activate her rune?
I think that might be accidental,
Wow.
given the emotions that I'm having and where I'm grabbing.
All right, so
I hate being touched.
And there's still, I still have my magic activated, so I'm
yes,
assuming
your
that-
magic is already activated. So I'm giving you a -4 on this,
Okay,
which is super harsh.
no, that's fair.
You're needing to get, like, you've got her arm, you're seeing the sigil, you can see where she has carved things, and she's got some blood lining into it. You need to, like, draw the rune with her arm in the air. So roll your drawing skill. And you can just negate this. You can say, I don't let him do it,
Oh,
and
no.
then this stops.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay.
Why would I say no?
I don't know, but I want,
Yeah, no, if you're not cool with
I mean,
this,
I don't like, in my character backstory, I don't like other people, I don't like to be touched, which is why I wanted to become a scribe so I could live alone in a life of beautiful solitude. So I'm annoyed, but I'm going to let him do it because
All right.
he seems very intense.
this is very out of desperation. I have no idea what's going on, and I need to make things happen right. So, precision drawing. That is a 5 on precision drawing, superb.
All right.
But you have a -4 to it.
That's true, so that would be a average.
All right. So you can just tell that's not going to be enough.
Want to spend some of those fate points?
I guess, like, is mine, like, things, so you're drawing, I would like to invoke my things are better than you believe sort of thing. I don't know if that helps in this sort of
I
scenario.
mean, this must look like they're having some sort of dance, and you've seen them doing magic, and so maybe this is some sort of magical dance.
Yeah, all right. So I see you guys, you trying to, like, draw and do, like, the things and whatnot, and I'm like, loosen up. You're being a little bit too stiff. You're being too stiff. Lead with your heart, not with your bones. Using the innate love within you, you can draw out the inner dance.
Okay.
And if nothing else, that gives you enough focus. So that's going to bring you up to good.
Be the leaf.
Can I tag an aspect?
Oh, yeah, always.
Oh, good, because I am very good at manipulating soft things with my arms.
Oh, like my musculature.
Yes, due to my ability to knead things.
All right.
Right.
So that's going to bring you up to superb.
Okay.
We're so close.
Oh, still okay. We need to go one farther.
You gotta put the gem in the box when you use it.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries.
Oh, because I don't want to re-roll because that's a pretty decent roll.
Can I do? If I invoked, like,
So we're looking for aspects here. Some of you might have aspects you haven't defined.
okay,
Because
that's
new
a-
one right
I'm
now.
gonna do beloved. I'm gonna
how
invoke.
is that going to get them?
Oh,
I was gonna say, so because he's told me a lot of things and whatnot, because you've come to the tavern once or twice.
Few times.
Before and whatnot, and they'd be like, "Remember back to that past before you wanted to be a baker or a blacksmith. You once told me you wanted to be a great artist, and you used to draw, and you used to bring forth that innate past that you'd used to scribble on things as a kid.
I try
And
my...
use it now.
Yep.
And also dance.
And also...
Art. Be creative. Art is a productive hobby.
I also remembered I have a temporary aspect of adrenaline fueled at this
Yes, you
point.
have.
And there's nothing more that I want to see more fire magic.
All right.
And to increase
You can
concentration
tag
on
that,
this.
and that will take you to legendary.
I spent yours already.
Oh.
And
Oh,
so
no.
when you get to legendary, invoking this, I think we can be out of combat, and you just tell us what happens. Oh, legendary one.
Okay. At this
We
point,
just gave you the
What do you
spirit.
guys perceive is happening? I should be clear.
We
right.
gave you the spirit bomb, essentially.
yeah, so
Believe.
you're struggling with my arm.
I'm just like,
You're spending a bit of time trying to pull it away until you start to feel the magic grow a bit more as I start to complete more aspects of the rune. And you think, oh, no, this is, yeah, no, I want this.
oh, okay, sure, I'll
Yeah.
work with you.
Keep going. And then we finish the rune, which has now appeared glowing in air. It dissipates. The fire goes out on the mound.
Eerie quiet.
Slowly goes out, as if it's seeping into the ground. Quiet, it is, as you say, eerily quiet. And then the ground starts to very slowly steam and become red until, like a wave breaking on the shore, the earth splits apart into magma and falls about, I'm going to say 16 feet, so that a splash comes up the edges and then lands back inside. Maybe a few drops land just a couple feet outside the edge, but it's been contained. The top edge has dropped of liquid.
So this is the hive? The hive just
Yeah.
like melts into a puddle?
To say the hive melts in on itself.
Okay. The remaining Igar are circling it madly. The dharam is disheartened. It's like, well, you guys win this one.
What?
He just goes,
Oh. Well, we sports pretty hard.
good game.
Yeah, good game. Good game.
And
You hit me very hard.
you hit me very hard.
Do you guys have like an arm shake like moment, like Full Metal Alchemist, like the
He really doesn't want to touch you, but then he goes in for it.
Yeah, well fought. Well fought. You win this thing.
Yes.
Then he puts his axe over his shoulder and starts to walk away.
Wait, Steve.
And he doesn't stop walking, but he
Will we ever
acknowledges-
see you again?
I hope so.
What does this stick do? Can I wave it around? Did the Igar do anything?
So you wave it around and you're thinking, oh, with study, I might be able to figure this out. We could see if you can do anything with it immediately.
Sure.
Give me a lore check, please.
Sure. That is, so I start at +4. That is epic.
All right, so with
Dang.
epic, that is good. You're kind of waving it, and all the Igar start flying diagonally. You haven't changed what they're doing. They're still buzzing frantically, but now instead of being like this, they're like this. And you're like, okay, I can figure this out. It's going to take some work. So it's not a completely consistent. You're clearly going to need to it doesn't. It's not intuitive, but you can make this work eventually.
I'm going to learn how to drive some Igar.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
I
you
shouldn't
are.
have destroyed their hive, but it's probably fine.
Kathleen becomes the Igar queen.
Word to the wise, you may want to keep that covered up.
Oh, I always wear long sleeves and stay inside out of the sun anyhow.
So you each take a point of mental stress from what happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
And what's going on with the rest of you?
Well, so
Oh, wait, hold on.
the,
If I can control the Igar, can I control the Igar on the back of the people's necks?
well, that's what I was
so-
literally about to ask.
Yeah. Sorry.
So what's going on with the zombies and stuff like that?
No change.
Okay. I have an idea.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear your idea.
which might be a lovely little, if it works, could be a lovely little way to solve the problem that we're occurring here. I see all the zombies and whatnot, and they're all kind of like grouped up. Probably, I assume a little like, what do we do kind of a thing.
Kind of like they basically are just following whatever instructions they're given last.
Is there between the 5 of us? If we like all stood hand in hand, would we have enough room to surround them? Would there be enough of us to surround the people?
If you, huddled them in the middle.
Yeah. Can I, guys, trust me on this. I need you all to link hands with me and surround the zombies.
Fine.
I've seen weirder things today.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I take Bryce's hand or Blaze's hand and Solder's hand just to complete the circle. Then.
Right.
So I have a stunt called Festive Cheer, which enables me to, if we can surround a group of people and sing a festive song, we can make them do a will roll to shake off the consequences of negative effects on their minds.
Normally, this is for like hangovers.
Should I use the stuff?
I mean, we just witnessed legendary magic. Is it a festive cheer miracle?
How festive is this song?
I could sing it.
I think I don't want to put words in your mouth, Il, but I think you might have to.
And you know what? I'm going to help you out because I hate not knowing, and I really do want to see what happens to all these people with Igars in their brain.
All
so.
right. So
Yes, let's do it.
So you've got this, and is it just the Charlie Brown thing? It's
I actually composed a 2-part
Oh
song.
my god. You know what? I also
Two-part
have,
song.
I'm going to invoke my aspect, which family member is in trouble right now, just to add to the magic of this whole event.
all right. Well, with all of this going on, we're just going to say that this works, whatever this is.
Nice.
So take us out of the episode by giving us your song.
Oh, there's pressure now. Have a holly jolly festivus. It's the time we like a lot. There may be bugs, but give them hugs, or else the people will all rot. Have a holly jolly festivus, so cheer up, you goofy friend. Just hold strong and sing along, and soon your fears will end. Oh,
Have a holly
Holy
Wow.
moly.
Thank you for watching. Dice
The Egar burst.
I think they withdraw. So this has been episode 2
Incredible.
of Winter Peasantries. I hope that was fun.
Amazing.
Dice Friends is coming back the second Monday of January when there is a 10-part Ravnica series starting with Kathleen in the DM's chair and these 4 as your players. Please join us for that.